Welcome to another Splatoon 2 video on the channel. This will be another news roundup. I've got a lot of news to cover, so what we'll be doing is this video will be Octo expansion based, and then the next video it will be non-Octo expansion news, unless we do get more news in between when this video does go live and when I do make the next video. So the next video will be non-Octo expansion based, but this one will be all about the Octo expansion. I've got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about in this video. Pretty much Nintendo UK has been giving out translated tweets. Nintendo of America are now catching up with what Nintendo UK have been posting over the last few weeks, and they have been giving a little bit more details than what Nintendo UK and Nintendo of Europe have done on Twitter. So what we'll be doing is just including a mixture of Nintendo UK and Nintendo of America translations from what the Splatoon Twitter account, the Japanese Splatoon Twitter account I should say, what they tweeted out around about a month ago now. So pretty much the first few things that we'll be talking about is the passengers on the Deep Sea Metro. So pretty much we got this screenshot which we have seen before, and this is what the translation from Nintendo of America says. You can find these things clinging to the walls, ceilings and floors of the Deep Sea Metro subway trains. We're not sure if they're paying customers or what, and how they get on and off the train. And also we got a translated version of the blobfish description. This blobfish is a dignified Deep Sea Metro rider. He may look a bit grim at first glance, but if you look carefully you may find his appearance pleasing after all. Now, in an Octo expansion news roundup video that I made last week, I was talking about the passengers on the Deep Sea Metro, and in that video I asked about whether Agent A will be able to talk to the passengers on the Deep Sea Metro apart from Arso Padre, and we now have more details about that through a new Tumblr post on the Squid Research Lab. So pretty much the screenshots that you will be seeing right now are associated with that Tumblr post, and we have seen these screenshots before. These screenshots were posted around about end of March, start of April on the Japanese Splatoon Twitter account, but this is what the translated version of that tweet on the Tumblr post from the Squid Research Lab has to say. So these are the passengers of Deep Sea Metro, collectively known as the denizens of the deep. They look a bit strange, which we believe is a result of having adapted to survive in the extreme depths of their unique environment. They don't seem interested in Agent A or Captain Cuttlefish, as they don't respond at all when talked to. We're not sure what to make of this. Well, I know what to make of this. I am a little bit disappointed about this detail, just because, like what I said in that Octo expansion video that I did make last week, it might have actually been in a general Splatoon 2 news roundup video, but last week I made a video and I did cover the passengers on the Deep Sea Metro, and I said that with the passengers on the Deep Sea Metro there is an opportunity there for us to get more lore details if we can talk to the passengers on the Deep Sea Metro. So I am a little bit disappointed that we will not be able to talk to the passengers on the Deep Sea Metro apart from Arso Padre. We know that Arso Padre will play quite a big role in the Octo expansion, but like what I said, I feel like there was an opportunity there for Nintendo to give more lore details with these passengers. Like they could have got those passengers to like talk to Agent A, and they could have given us some more details about the environment and the underground world and the test facilities. So yeah, I kind of am a little bit disappointed about this piece of news. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Now, early on this week I made a video talking about what the end goal in an Octo expansion level is, just because we got a gameplay clip of an Octo expansion level called stamped up station, and it gave us our first look at the end of a Octo expansion level. And the end goal is different to what the single player end goal is, how you got a little zap fish surrounded by a shield, and you have to break out that zap fish from the shield to complete the level within the single player for Splatoon 2. But within the Octo expansion it is a little bit different, and I made a video earlier on in the week asking you guys what you think that end goal is. I now think the end goal is a mem cake, just because the Squid Research Lab, they have provided a translated version of what the Splatoon Japanese Twitter account had to say when talking about mem cakes, and this is pretty much what the Squid Research Lab has to say about mem cakes. These are mem cakes. You can obtain them by passing the various tests within the underground facility. From what we can determine, these cakes are formed by compressing one's memories into physical form. If you're able to collect some of these, show them to ISO Padre, he'll be quite delighted. So the line about getting mem cakes by passing the various tests within the underground facility, I think what that thing is at the end is a mem cake, and that shows that you have completed a level. That's just what I think it could be, but I'm going to talk about what you think the end goal is within a level in the Octo expansion within a future Your Theories episode. But that line has definitely made me think that the end goal will be a mem cake. Also, the line about showing the mem cakes to ISO Padre and he'll be quite delighted. We've heard this before in previous translations, but I'm now thinking that maybe ISO Padre knew Agent 8 before she lost her memories, and when you do show ISO Padre the mem cakes, maybe he'll give you more details about you as Agent 8 before you lost your memories. That's just one idea that I've got in my head based on that text. It could be wrong, but that's just an idea that I've currently got based on that line of text that we did get from the Squid Research Lab. Now, earlier on this week, Nintendo of Japan did post more Octo expansion gameplay on their YouTube channel, which I did post on the channel earlier on in the week, and this definitely did take me by surprise, just because this Octo expansion gameplay firstly shows off the Octo expansion outside of the underground world. So we see this at sea level, so we see this at like normal ground level. We see the multiplayer stage Manta Maria in the Octo expansion, and what the Octo expansion gameplay does show off is that there will be levels in the Octo expansion that are similar to what we saw in the single player, how we had levels that were sort of like turf war matches against enemy Octolings, and they were sort of like tutorial levels for the multiplayer. So it seems like in the Octo expansion there will be tutorial levels for the ranked modes. I am expecting to see not only Rainmaker have like its own tutorial level like what the gameplay did show off, but I am expecting to see splat zones, tower control. I am interested to see what they will do with a Clan Blitz level, but I am expecting them to do a Clan Blitz tutorial level as well. But pretty much what those tutorial levels are for is to get the player comfortable with playing, like in the single player it was to play on turf war, but in the Octo expansion what they are trying to do is move people away from maybe those people just play turf war. And what Nintendo are trying to do in the Octo expansion is to make people comfortable with playing the ranked modes. So that is why you do see Rainmaker in a single player setting, and that is why I do think you will see all of the other ranked modes as well. I think what these tutorial levels are for is to get the player comfortable with playing on those modes. So yeah, that's just what I think those levels are for. But I found the gameplay interesting, and yeah, I didn't really expect us to get a level set above like the underground, but definitely is a nice surprise how we are getting a level set on the ground level, and it is nice that we are going to be getting a variation to what we saw in the single player, how we had turf war matches against enemy Octolings. Now we will be getting ranked matches against enemy Octolings as well. And we just got some new gameplay of the Octo expansion. I probably have already uploaded it by the time this video does go live, but pretty much what it does show is that Agent A has to grind on the ink rails, and she has to take out all of the targets in a time limit. And yeah, these gameplays are definitely getting me even more hyped for the Octo expansion. I think these gameplays are leading up to something big at E3 2018, and we'll be talking about my predictions for what we will see at E3 in terms of the Octo expansion soon. And the last piece of news that we'll be talking about in this video is that we got a translated version of the chat room tweet that the Japanese Splatoon Twitter account did post. I think it was last week, it might have been the week before, but this is what Nintendo UK posted. In Splatoon 2 Octo expansion, Pearl and Marina have set up a chat room. You could probably find out some pretty interesting stuff from their unfiltered conversations, and we did get a translated version of the screenshot, and we did get a translated sort of version of the conversation within the screenshot. Unfortunately, it doesn't contain anything really interesting, but what I found really interesting about the screenshot is that in the bottom right it says press plus and it says imagine Inkopolis. So is this just a way to get back to Inkopolis and, you know, to be an Inkling again, buy new gear, play Salmon Run, play Turf War and all of the ranked modes? Or could it be something deeper than that? Now, I saw a really interesting theory on the Splatoon Reddit. I can't remember who posted it, so apologies about that. But pretty much some people came up with this theory that maybe Agent A imagines life as an Inkling, and your Splatoon 2 life so far as Agent 4 has been a lie. All of the events of the Splatoon 2 single player haven't actually happened, and Agent A is actually the real you. Agent A imagined the whole thing, and to go alongside that, we got an interesting piece of dialogue from Marina in a recent Splatfest, and that piece of dialogue was, it's funny because we're all living in a simulation and free will is a lie. Is Marina trying to give Agent A a hint that her life as an Inkling as Agent 4 is a lie, or could it just be a throwaway line? That is definitely a really interesting theory. I've seen other theories about maybe the Octo expansion being a simulation, and I probably will talk about that in a future Your Theories episode, but that is definitely really interesting, and that would be really cool. I would definitely find it really cool if it did turn out that the events of the single player and you as Agent 4 was a lie and Agent 8 was the real you. So yeah, that imagine Inkopolis sort of option definitely got people thinking in the community. It's definitely got me thinking, and yeah, I would be hyped if that theory did turn out to be true. But that's pretty much it for this Octo expansion video. Let me know your thoughts about everything that I've talked about in the comment section below. By the way, apologies that my voice sounds a little bit weird for the second half of this video. I think I'm getting a little bit of a cold, so apologies about that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, and I will see you next time.